Now, there are a few episodes that I watch of Sister Wives where I just say, what the hell? And this is one of those episodes because there was a point where Mckelty, one of Christine's kids, I think it's her second oldest child, ran out, got on the back of a horse that she was recommended not to get on. And she did the teenager thing where, they told her, don't get on the back of this horse because it's acting kind of funny. And she said, I'll show him. Got on the back of this horse, went out, and she fell off the horse. Or the horse, I should say, bucked her and threw her off. And when they first described it, it was told to the audience by the wives in a way where it was just basically, Mckelty got on the horse, she rode off real fast before anybody could stop her. All of a sudden, she went off somewhere kind of far away and far and wide. Nobody knew what happened. And then all of a sudden, the horse came back without a rider. And we were very concerned. We went out looking for her. We found Mckelty on the road. And we had no idea. This is how Meri described it. Then, of course, Cody, I don't know whether he realized or didn't realize that they had everything on tape. And Cody was standing right there. And according to Cody, the horse was out there riding. Mckelty was on the back of the horse, so he's seeing her ride this horse that she ain't got no business riding. Then the horse bucks, head drops. She comes flying off the back. She flies through the air. She lands on her hip or back, and she's laying on the ground screaming in pain. And Cody walks up to the horse, calmly calms the horse down, gets the horse, then he goes to check on his daughter. And that blew my mind. I couldn't imagine, as a dad, I couldn't imagine seeing my daughter get tossed off one of my kids. I have a boy and a girl. I can't imagine seeing one of my kids get tossed off a horse, and I'm concerned about this damn horse. Forget that horse. I don't give a damn about that horse. And I love animals. I'm an animal lover. I love horses. I think horses are awesome. But bump that horse. You understand what I'm saying? And there's no way in the world, because Cody he walks over to Mckelty, kind of jogs over to her. She's on the ground screaming her ass off. And the way she's laying, I was concerned that she might actually have back problems. Like she could have hurt herself real bad. And it doesn't take much for you to slip a disc or for you to crack a vertebrae or have a serious back problem. Have a lot of problems. Because even through like a chain reaction, she landed on her hip. But the way you land on your hip with enough force, you can damage your back. And you can go from, having what could be a hip problem to wind up in a chair. Like you could be messed up. Like it could be bad. So the fact that everybody kind of treated it like it was no big deal, like except for like the moms, they were very concerned. Christine was very concerned. Cody, roll over, get on your thing. First you got to do the body check. Are you okay? Let me see you wiggle your toes. Are you fine? Like, let me get you up on your feet, because her body will give out. If her body is broken, she won't be able to stand up. This girl barely stood up. And Cody walks her over to the mom, shows her where got a little scrape on the back, like it's like kind of a rash from where she hit the ground. And then he shows Christine. Then Christine takes Mckelty over to the truck. Cody doesn't take Mckelty over to the truck because he's concerned about this horse. And I don't know what the damn horse name was, but as far as I was concerned, the horse name could have been Elmer's Glue. Because my baby hurt, you going to the glue factory, baby. I'm just telling you, like, that's just my thoughts on it. Like, I don't understand why it was so important for him to make sure that this horse is dealt with. He had to be the one to deal with this horse. There are other people there who could deal with this horse, including the guy who runs the ranch, which is his brother-in-law. His brother-in-law was there, and he could fix this horse. He could adjust this horse's behavior. He could deal with the horse. You don't have to be the one to deal with the horse. You have children there, and your priority is not this horse for this ranch that you have nothing to do with. Your priority, your first, second, third, fourth priority should have been making sure your kid was okay. And that was crazy to me. And this is one of them things where I kind of feel like I come down on Cody a lot because there's a lot of things that you see on these reality shows where you just kind of point things out, and after a while it feels like you're kind of nitpicking. This is not one of those things, though. I'm sorry. If something happens to your child and you're not sure what happened to them or how they're doing, you don't just load them up in the back of a car and say, oh, I'm going to ride this horse and make sure this horse knows that it's not okay to toss people. I don't give a damn about that horse. Okay? That horse might get old yellow before everything is over. As far as I'm concerned. Like, this is my baby? Like, no. You know, make sure my kid is okay. If the horse can't be ridden, then we got to figure out something to do with that horse. But I got to make sure that my daughter can walk. That's just, I don't know. And again, it's a very weird space because it'll get you riled up watching a lot of it. Once they deal with it, you find out that Mckelty actually dislocated her hip. And that's what the chiropractor did. He put her hip back into place. In the same way that the chiropractor popped her hip back into place, she could have had serious issues, which also called into question the fact that they took the baby to the chiropractor instead of taking her to the emergency room or doctor. The reason why they didn't go to the emergency room and they didn't go to the doctor is because they don't have insurance. They don't have coverage for these kids. They got them out there riding horses with no medical insurance. And that says a lot. And that's not just on Cody. That's on all of them. Because when earlier in that first season at the tell-all or the tell-all special, it was kind of a tell-all before there was a tell-all. They called it Sister Wives, the special. During the course of the special, Janelle had revealed that her daughter had an emergency appendectomy. Her appendix was about to burst. So they had to cut her appendix out. And that cost them all kinds of money because they didn't have insurance. They didn't have coverage. So they had to come out of their pocket. And Janelle was still making payments because Cody was too good to make payments, apparently. And Janelle, as she said, is still paying for it. Not me and Cody are still paying for it. Janelle's still paying for it. So Christine, if your child would have got tossed off that horse and she would have required surgery, you would have been on the hook for that surgery. You would have been on the hook for making sure that your child was being taken care of and provided for, and Cody would have dropped your kid off. The same way he did basically what he did out there with that horse is what it seems like he's been doing to these kids the entire time. The horse tosses the kid off. He's more concerned about the horse and making sure the horse is being taken care of because the children are the mother's problems. Anything that results from the children, whether it's medical bills or whatever, that's all on the mom. That's all on you, Christine. You got to make sure your kid is okay. And that's the feeling that I got, and that's unfortunate. So one of the things that I would say, I understand kids are going to be kids and you want your kids to enjoy the full range of life. But as parents and as adults, we have the responsibility to make sure that our kids can do these things safely and without concern. Your kids shouldn't have to worry about if I fall off here, I got to start making life decisions. You know, do I make sure that I get the medical care I need, or do I make sure Logan can go to college? Or do I make sure that we have a house to live in? These are decisions that the parent should be aware of and the parent should take into account. And understandably, like I said, things are going to happen. Kids are going to make bad choices, and that's on them. But as parents, we have to try to mitigate those choices and the damages from those choices as much as we can. And part of that is just checking on your damn kids, making sure your kids are okay. And that is 100% on Cody. When the baby hit the ground, you got to go check your girl out. Make sure she's fine. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out.
Cause I've been living life right like I